Alrighty, welcome one, welcome all. Let's just get right into this video. We don't really need to talk about this too much. We know what's going on. The whole Sparking Zero has lost over 90% of its player base. And I just wanted to go over that real quick because a lot of people seem to think that the game is dead, and that is just not true at all. So, why are people thinking like that? Well, let's take a look at this. These are the Steam charts for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. 9,950 people as of 5:52 p.m. on November 12th, 2024. 20 minutes before that, approximately 9,950 people were playing the game on Steam. Now, a lot of people have been having troubles with the game, and this is very typical of anime games too, of having trouble on platforms that are anything but PlayStation. And I think it has something to do with PlayStation being overwhelmingly, sorry, the most popular platform in Japan. So when Japanese companies make their games, PlayStation is in mind, and they're not really catering to the other audiences so much, and that's what causes all sorts of problems with these games on both Xbox and Steam that oftentimes just end up not existing on PlayStation. For example, this game and another recent anime game you guys may have played, Storm Connections, have had the problem where if you were on Xbox or Steam, you wouldn't be able to find any matches online, right? When that happens, people aren't getting on the game nearly as often because they can't play online. And of course, the main focus of the game is the combat. But there's story mode and a bunch of other online content. Yeah, that's true. But most people just want to hop in the game and actually fight. So that would explain why the Steam charts are so low. And to be honest, I'm actually surprised that they're even this high, because with what happened with Storm Connections, their numbers just plummeted. It was crazy. Then again, they sold less than half of Sparking Zero's total sales in day one. Now, I'm going to introduce you guys to this site. It's called ActivePlayer.io. What it does is it shows the monthly demographics of across all platforms when they were able to gather the data of how many players are actually playing a game at a given time. Just taking a look at these quick stats, we don't need to focus on the Twitch stats because that's not the people that are actually playing the game. Those are people watching other people play the game. Approximately an hour ago, 377,423 players were on the game, with a monthly active player base of 552,142, meaning they lost 8,067 monthly active players. Monthly active players. What does that mean? That means 8,000 people perhaps got the game and didn't pick it back up. But when you have a monthly active player base, that means that those are the players that are getting on the game and returning back onto the game on other days, right? And of course, beyond day one, the game also had other people getting the game later on, which would explain why the drop hasn't been so stagnant, because people are still buying the game and playing it. I know people that bought the game today, as a matter of fact, because some people just didn't have the finances to get the game or the edition that they wanted. I got the deluxe edition, so I was playing early access. Y'all know I was on that shit. I was streaming it. But if you just do the math, right? Add 8,067 to this and divide it to find out what percentage of players were actually lost. Does that look like 90% of players on the game just stopped playing the game altogether and that the game is dead? Of course not, because it's not true. And I know we're Dragon Ball fans. Dragon Ball fans in general are very incapable of reading and are oftentimes quite unintelligent. But it's like, come on, guys. You got to understand that this factor too, that players on Steam only account for less than 1% of the entire player base of Sparking Zero. The overwhelming majority got it on console. And even between consoles, the overwhelming majority of console players have it on PlayStation. These numbers, for the most part, are PlayStation players. There's a good chunk of Xbox players in there too, but it's really mostly PlayStation players. And like I said, that's very typical with anime games. Hopefully, in this December patch, they'll pretty much do the same thing that Storm Connections did and fix a bunch of issues regarding online connectivity through different platforms, and that'll help a lot of Steam players and a lot of Xbox players. And then once that's fixed, a lot of people will get back into the game, like with Storm Connections. Storm Connections kind of had a pullback with that on Xbox and on Steam. Though, in Connections' case, it was worse because it was a game that not a lot of people really wanted. Sparking Zero, people were really looking forward to it. That's why you see the numbers on the Steam charts even this high. Whereas when Storm Connections was having this exact same issue, their number of concurrent players was much lower. But I just made this video to let you guys know the game's not dead. Stop listening to the propaganda from other people being like, oh, and I know one of the biggest perpetrators of that is quote unquote perfection, the natural selection. That dumbass. But yeah, guys, come on now. The game's not dead. It's not going to be dead for quite a long time. The game has pretty good longevity. People are going to be playing it for a while. I know I'm going to be playing it for a while. I haven't made any content in the past week. I think I haven't uploaded in about 8 days. Yeah, I've been focused on school and work and stuff like that. But I'm going to get back to a good schedule. I'm going to not continue to upload daily, but instead try to upload every few days so that I can still push out some content to you guys. I don't know when the next video is going to drop after this. I have a couple of other videos planned. Maybe I'm going to start batching too. I think that would be a good idea, where I record content and then throughout a couple of days, I'll just post multiple videos. No more than 3 because YouTube doesn't send it out to the subscribers after that. But basically releasing my videos in batches so that my subscribers have stuff to watch on content that I made, but when I'm actually uploading them, I'm already out and doing something else. And then I will say that it's probably going to take a minute before I start getting on a schedule like that. Thanksgiving is coming up, and then I'm going to have Christmas break, and I'm going to be out of state. I'm going to be with my family, so I'm probably going to pre-record some content beforehand so that I can upload stuff for you guys. And if I don't, December is going to be a pretty dead month on my channel. But anyway, that's all besides the point. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.